if someone says, "Hey, I'm a millionaire," you know, 'cause I've experienced that in my life. I've been to a few parties and stuff, and I've known that these people have been millionaires, you know, and so to be a billionaire, you know, that is unbelievable. To be a billionaire, you know, you can pretty much just spend, and you just not, you won't make a dent. So when we're talking trillions, I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money, and someone put it into an analogy once about if you stacked 10, I think it was $10 or $20 bills, one on top of the other, how far to the moon and back, or something like that. It was fucking ridiculous. It was mental. It was mental. You know, I don't know if it was true. Again, you know, you hear this shit all the time, don't you? People are coming up with, but it wouldn't surprise me because it is a ridiculous amount of money, and it's impossible, absolutely impossible, to pay that debt back to wherever it's meant to be paid back. The World Bank. Oh dear. So we are at some point going to be looking at some, again, and this, that, maybe that will be the Black Swan event. The financial system crashing, coming to an end, a period of adjustment and suffering, and yeah, maybe a little bit like more like a depression, you know. And then with every crisis, there's a solution. CBDCs. So we know that silver and right. So I've gone right off track. So this has been held artificially low for a very long time. So one of these, this is probably worth about 27 quid, something like that. You'll pay something like, I don't know, 35, 36 quid for it. So you're making a loss as soon as you've bought it. Straight away. As soon as you've bought it, you've lost. Just like driving a car off the forecourt of a garage. As soon as you've driven it off and you've signed that paperwork and you've shelled out all that money for a car that belongs to the DVLA and not you, it loses value. And as every week passes by, it loses more and more value. That's not going to happen with this. So at the moment, and another disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I've got no idea what I'm talking about. I'm a knob. Don't listen to me. So because the BRICS nations are investing a lot in silver, it's going to be impossible then for it to be kept artificially low, because it's going to be used as part of what's going to be backing up the BRICS to some degree, you know, because gold is finite, but it's more finite than silver. So this kind of compensates for it. That's how I see things going. So just like a tin of beans, whereas you buy a tin of beans, it doesn't depreciate because it's still going to be a tin of beans, you know. But a tin of beans you buy today, you're going to be thinking, fuck me, that was expensive for a tin of beans. I remember when I could pay 15p a tin, you know. Now it's 50p a tin for the cheap ones. So you'll be glad that you bought those beans today instead of buying them in a year's time. So although you lose out on silver straight away, I would love to just turn around to you and say how much I think silver's going to be worth in a year and a half's time. But again, that's just the way that my mind works. But start doing a little bit of looking into it and start doing a bit of digging, you know. And most people can't afford to buy gold, myself included, you know. I mean, you're looking at, on average, around 500 odd quid now for a sovereign. At £500 plus. You know, I remember when they were being sold for 390 quid. So, and that was just, say, 3 years ago. So 390 quid for a sovereign, now 500 quid. You know, that's a massive increase. And that is the state of inflation against the pound. So just let that sink in. So yeah, although I am not a financial advisor, it's just something to think about, because when your pound notes become worth fuck all, and now, and that's another thing, you know, these new pound notes. I remember the old pound notes. At least the old pound notes, if inflation got so ridiculous that we ended up with, because there are countries out there that have got like million. It's a million, whatever their currency is, or is it a billion, or is it? It can't be a trillion. I think there's a billion one. You know, a lot of you have heard about the analogy of someone taking a wheelbarrow full of cash to a shop, going into the shop, coming out, finding all the cash on the floor, and someone's nicked the wheelbarrow. So going back to old cash, at least that was paper. You know, the only downside to that, and the only good side to the new stuff, is that if you've been out on the piss the night before and been clubbing, and you come home and your missus sticks your jeans straight in the wash for you because you've spilt your kebab down you, and then it goes through the tumble dryer. With these old notes, it came out like fluff. That was it. You were £20 down. These new ones, indestructible. But they're still going to be worth shit if you look at the way gold prices have increased. They've never ever been this high. It's a record. It's a record. So I don't know if anyone's ever, or if anyone's subscribed to Trends Journal. Trends is an Italian American guy. Very, very passionate, and yeah, he's like almost like a little bit like a Simpsons. You know, Simpsons just predict shit and they just come through. They just happen. Some people have sent me some stuff of the Simpsons, you know, like a montage of reality, then the cartoon, then the reality, but putting the dates there, the different dates, and then cartoon clip of the Simpsons, and then reality. A succession that was bizarre, utterly bizarre. Well, Trends is a little bit like that, but not. There's no cartoon involved. You know, he's been really good at calling shit. And yeah, maybe go over and check his channel out. He does F and blind it now and then because he's passionate. He's passionate. So yeah, I think I might actually, yeah. So going back to the sugar thing, lots and lots and lots of us have got rice. All of us have got rice, or at least we should have. And I've mentioned before, rice is one of the most bland foods on the planet, and we all love to tickle our taste buds. All of us, you know. So rice and dried milk powder with sugar, you've got rice pudding, you know, and that combination. I mean, I've started to work through because I ended up buying a lot of dried milk, a lot, again in a short space of time. But because of the bread maker taking powdered milk, I'm working my way through it quite quickly. So I am starting to stock back up on that again. And someone in the comments in one of the videos going back, make yourself known in the comments section, just so I can thank you, because I can't remember. But the company that makes Tropical Sun powdered mash, which is, I'm telling you, it's a must for every prepper. I'm just saying. They also do a powdered milk as well. So I've not tried it, but I'm assuming if it's anything like the mash, then it's going to be decent stuff. And you will see it here and there in shops. Tropical Sun dried milk. But it is way cheaper on eBay. I know it's putting these big conglomerate corporate supermarkets out of business, but hey ho. Right, so I'll leave it at that. And I'll see if I can I'll spend a bit more time trying to get this shit off the back of here. And yeah, if you can shed any light on Serco and the connection, please feel free to email me. So good night, much love, enjoy your weekend, no fear. Ciao for now.